afternoon and welcome to the Glenorchy Planning Authority for the 4th of November 2024. I'd like to acknowledge the Muwinina people as the traditional owners of this land. We recognise all Tasmanian Aboriginal people as the original owners and continuing custodians of the land and waters of this island, Lutruwita. We pay our respect to Aboriginal elders past and present. We commit to working for a city that welcomes and respects all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. My name is Alderman Sue Hickey. I'm the Mayor of Glenorchy and the Chair of this afternoon's Planning Authority meeting. Joining me this afternoon are my fellow authority members, and we have Deputy Mayor Russell Yaxley. Thank you. We have Alderman Alderton as a proxy today. And I'm sorry, Josh, but you've been missed off our list, so it's Alderman Josh Cockshut. Thank you. We also have a number of council staff in attendance this afternoon. Thank you. And our first item, and only item actually, is we're having the Planning Authority Declaration followed by the item. The Planning Authority Declaration is that the Glenorchy Planning Authority intends to act as a planning authority under the Land Use Planning and Approvals Act of 1993. The Planning Authority has full power to make planning decisions on behalf of Council. Meeting procedures. Planning Officer will present the assessment and recommendation and then answer any questions of elected members. The chairperson invites the applicant and any interested parties to have their say by addressing the meeting. Speakers will be limited to 5 minutes. The chairperson may ask the planning officer to comment on any matters raised. The planning authority discusses the application. For statutory planning applications, the planning authority decides the application, and the senior statutory planner explains appeal rights. For planning scheme amendments, the strategic planner explains the decisions being made by the planning authority and the Tasmanian Planning Commission. When deciding an application, the authority is required by law to seek further the sustainable development objectives of the Act, consider representations received during the public notification period, and make decisions by reference to the current planning scheme provisions. Please comply with any directions given by the chairman. Please respect other people's views and their right to have a say. There are our meeting rules. And item number 1 is 11 to 13 Maid Road, Moona. It's for partial demolition, additions, alterations and partial change of use from bulky goods sales, furniture showroom basically, to offices, business and professional services.
Pecuniary interests.
Oh, I missed a big one. Pecuniary interests. Okay, does anyone have any pecuniary interests? No. And confirmation of the minutes. So we've skipped something. So could I have someone move to confirm the minutes? Thank you very much, Alderman Yaxley. Thank you. Cockshut. Any commentary? No? Put the motion. All those in favour, raise your hand. And I'd also like to discuss apologies and leave of absence. So we have an apology from Alderman King and Alderman Dunsby. And that's that. Thank you for picking me up on that, Deputy. Now we'll get on to 11 to 13 Main Road, Moona.
Thank you, Mayor. So the proposal is for the partial demolition, alteration and change of use from showroom to offices. Next slide, please. So the figure 1 shows the aerial view of site and its surroundings. So the lot is the corner lot and it has 2 frontages. One is towards the main road, the other one is towards the Brownells Lane. The figure 2 is the closer view to the site. There are 2 existing buildings, as you can see, and there's a shed towards the northwest of the boundary, and also there is a existing car parking on the site and also towards the Brownells Lane. Next slide, please. So these are some site photographs. The first on the top left is from the main road, facing towards the existing showroom and also the office, and it's also showing the existing car parking space. The second image on the right top is from it's the access from the site to the Brownells Lane. The third photo on the left down is clicked from the Brownells Lane, showing the existing buildings and also the car parking at Brownells Lane. The fourth one is image is showing the existing shed, which will gonna be demolished as part of this application. Next slide, please. So this figure showing the existing zoning and of the site and nearby surroundings. So mostly it's surrounded by the commercial zone, which is in the light purple, and the nearby zoning is light industrial zone, which is in the purple, and towards the north in the blue, it's a local business zone. So mostly it's the site is surrounded by the commercial zone only. Next slide, please. So the figure 3 shows the staging plan. The proposal has been made in two stages. The stage 1 scope of work includes the demolition work within the existing showroom building and also the conversion of showroom into the office space. And the stage 2 scope of work includes the demolition of the existing shed and construct a new double-story building over there, which will connect internally to the existing office and to the proposed change of use showroom office. The figure 4 shows the proposed demolition plan. So stage 1 demolition includes the outside demolition of walls and windows and also some internal works into the showroom. And the stage 2 demolition work includes the removal of shed and also some demolition works towards the outside of the existing office space. Next slide, please. Stage 1 development, this is the existing floor of, so this is the proposed floor plan of the stage 1. So in stage 1, as you can see, the existing showroom has been changed into the office space, and also there is accessible pathway has been constructed in front of the proposed showroom, proposed office, and also there is a 20 car parking spaces available on the site, which includes includes accessible parking, and also there are 3 motorcycle and 2 bicycle parking space. Next. Stage 2 development. So as I mentioned earlier that the shed will be demolished and double story building will be constructed. So figure 6 showing the stage 2 lower floor plan of the double story building, in which includes the 5 car parking spaces and also 3 motorcycle parking spaces. And also there is a internal access for the building towards from the lower floor. And figure 7 shows the upper floor plan, which is showing the existing, so the proposed office space, which connects of both the buildings internally. Next slide. So these are the elevation. The first image is the existing elevation of the site, and in the red dotted line, it's showing that the windows or the doors which will be demolished as part of the development, and the second image is showing the proposed one in which the windows has been changed and the sign has been replaced, and also there is a building towards the rear which has been constructed, and the third image is the section which has been removed, the existing office building, and showing the proposed double story building at rear. Next. This is the west elevation when you are looking towards the existing office space, and also it's showing the proposed double story building office use space as well. Next slide. So figure 9 shows the existing and proposed elevation when viewed from Brownells Lane. So the first image showing the shed which will demolish and some windows or doors will be removed. And the second image is showing the double story has been constructed and showing the enclosed car parking space, and as well as uh, the third image showing the section uh, from which showing the internal connection between the existing buildings. Next slide, please. The figure 10 shows the existing and proposed north elevation when viewed from the rear of the property. So in the red, the first image in the red dot is showing the existing shed, which will demolish, and the double story will be constructed as part of the development, which is showing in the down image. Next slide, please. So there are three discussions. First one is related to the zone, which, and the second one is related to the local provision, and the third one is road and railway asset code, which I will discuss in the later slides. Next slide, please. The first one is zone discussion. So as the part of development, they are constructing the accessible pathway in front of the property, which is not complying with the point A, which says the building must have a setback from a frontage of not less than 5.5 meter. So that's why it's not complying with A, and it has been assessed based on the performance criteria. So the proposed steps and ramp are consistent with the existing development patterns in the area, and it provides the safe and accessible pedestrian access while maintaining adequate space for on-site parking and vehicle turning. Moreover, the design also preserves the safety and functionality of the road environment, so that's why it complies with the performance criteria. Next slide, please. So the figure 7 and figure 8 showing the proposed accessible pathway which will construct in front of the dwelling. So the second discussion is local provision schedule, which is Northern Apartments Corridor Specific Area Plan. So the proposed change of use business and professional services is discretionary use under the specific under the use table of a specific area plan. So as you can see, there is no acceptable solution. That's why it has been assessed based on the performance criteria. So the proposed change of use would not compromise or distort the activity within the activity center. The proposed size and scale of the use within the site is not unreasonable and would not negatively impact the activity center. Moreover, the proposed intensification use would not impact the activity center or nearby surroundings. So overall, the proposed change of use will not significantly deviate or create any pattern of surrounding business which will impact any activities on nearby area or on the center. Next slide. The third discussion is the core discussion, which is C3.5.1, which is for traffic generation at a vehicle crossing, level crossing on new junction. So the new level crossing has been proposed towards the Brownells Lane, and the use and the development has been not issued by the road authority. That's why it's not complying with A1.2, and it has been assessed based on the performance criteria. So to satisfy the performance criteria, the applicant has provided the TIA report, which has been verified by our council traffic engineer. And as per that, there will be no significantly increase in the overall number of daily trips generated. It mainly generate a light traffic associated with the associated with the office use. At the moment, there are heavy vehicles movement on the side because the right now the existing use is for bulky good and sales. uh, so if we look into the proposed change of use, there will be reduction of there will be reduce in the heavy vehicle and more it will increase in the light vehicles. So if we look overall, there will be a minor increase in peak period traffic, which will not negatively affect the safety or efficiency of the road network, and the traffic generated aligns with the current traffic conditions in the area. Slide, please. Representation. The applicant was publicly advertised for 14 days as required, and no objections or concern were received during this period. Next slide, please. Recommendation. There are some approval subject to conditions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
So I'd now like to ask if there's any questions from our authority members for the planning officer. Yes, Alderman Alderton.
Thank you. So I just have a question in regards to the background of this proposal that there were 3 permits. So there's a permit history here in our papers, And my question's in regards to PLN 1262, which was a proposal for the use and development of the site for a non-for-profit organisation, including offices, a showroom, consulting rooms with variations for a car park, road alignment setbacks, as well as demolition of the existing building. This proposal sounds very similar to the current proposal. That proposal was approved on the 30th of April 2012. Are you able to expand on that proposal?
Yeah.
If it in fact was a similar or an identical proposal, and what was involved there?
So that permit which they have applied is similar to this, but it has been expired. Moreover, the proposed development in the size has been changed. Earlier they were not converting the existing showroom use into a business and professional services. They were just constructing a double-story building and using the existing office space and built a combined office space. And they would have, so in that permit they were keeping the existing showroom and they were not removing the any use from the site.
Right.
But yeah, it was a similar, but they were not doing the change of use at that particular time.
So when they applied for this permit, were they required to explain why they let the previous permit lapse, or that's not relevant?
So earlier it was approved under the old scheme. So now the use table and the zone discussions has been changed. So if we look into the previous one, they might have complying or not complying with some of the standards, but I'm not much sure about it. What were the discussions in that?
Right.
But yeah, there has been changed in the planning standards until the previous scheme and the current one.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Deputy.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a question around the traffic assessment. I love traffic assessments. And I find it interesting how where there's a small increase in terms of traffic to the site. Could you just explain that a little bit, expand that a little bit more if you could, and just explain the reasons why it's acceptable?
So through the chair, so the increase is, the traffic volumes don't increase that much, but the peak does, because it's offices now. So people are coming generally in the morning and leaving at the end of the day beforehand, because you had the warehouse there was a bit more traffic during the day and not during peak.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you. And that's the only question I have.
Thank you. Alderman Cockshutt?
I'm all good, thank you.
Thank you. I'm pretty good too. I think it's a good outcome for the community. I would have great pleasure in acknowledging members of the gallery, and I note that we have Mr. Morley online. I'm now going to ask, does anyone here have any questions to address the meeting? Mr. Morley?
Through you, Chair, David Morley's our consultant development engineer.
Oh, okay.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Nice to meet you, David.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
I have no questions. Does anyone have any questions?
For you?
Okay.
No, we're all good, thank you. So now that the questions are finished, I'll ask for someone to move the recommendation. Thank you, Deputy. Oh, very quick draw there, but I think I'll go with Alderman Cockshutt. No, we don't do that yet. Right, so do you have any questions?
I've got a comment.
Yes?
Yes. So the change of use I'm comfortable with, and I am comfortable with the officer's explanations. While there is obviously a greater intensity of activity, I'm comfortable again, and I don't have any further questions or need any clarity. Just a comment to say that it's great to see rejuvenation of our buildings in our city. So.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, thank you.
Just want to say, excellent report and summary. All the detail was there. It's clean and cut. I've got no concerns whatsoever. But thanks very much for the presentation.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'd just like to add, I don't have any concerns with this development. Our council officers have worked very hard on this, and they've put a lot of conditions in place that the developer has to meet. There's a lot of stringent requirements there that they need to adhere to. So for me, I'm more than happy with the proposal.
Yes, and I totally agree with the deputy. I think rejuvenation of these significant buildings, bringing more workers into our city, and also something that's for the public good, is a wonderful outcome. So I'm now going to put the recommendation to the vote. All those in favour? It's carried unanimously. And we ask the Senior Statutory Planner to explain the process from here.
Thank you, Chair. So there were no representations received in respect to this application. So the appellant has a right of appeal. They may choose to appeal the conditions or not, and they've got 14 days from the time we issue our notice in which to do that. So we'll be in touch with them shortly with the notice of approval.
Thank you. No further matters to discuss? No. In that case, I'll close the meeting at 3:50. Thank you for your attendance.